Welcome to the Inspired Riding Podcast. I'm your host, Beth Lauren Parrish. As a certified riding instructor, remote coach, and rapid transformational therapy practitioner, a powerful form of hypnotherapy, I'm here to remind you to slow down, trust your intuition, and really deeply listen to your horse. And this will make for the best co-creative dances possible, whether you're on the ground or connecting on their backs. Thank you so much for being here, and here we go. Hello there, Inspired Riders. Welcome back to the Animal Wisdom series. I'm so happy again to bring you Jana Wagner, and today we're going to be talking to her wonderful Corgi named Wallace. How are you today, Jana?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited for this conversation.
Me too. I gotta turn up my volume there. Okay, so Wallace is my 6-year-old Pembroke Corgi. He came to us as a puppy I got him from a friend of mine who's like a town over.
What's a Pembroke Corgi? I didn't know there's like a certain kind.
Okay, so there's two types of corgis, Cardigan and Pembroke. So that is the area in Wales where they came from.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's actually a famous castle. I'm not going to get the name right, but there's like a Pembroke Castle. You know, if you like that history stuff, go on YouTube and look it up. It's really cool, like all the history and everything about it. And Cardigan is the other one. The Cardigans are a little bit bigger. They usually leave the tails. No, they do leave the tails on. And they are a little bit more one-person type dogs. Pembrokes are a bit more social, in my opinion. I've never owned a Cardigan, so I can't really speak to that. But Pembrokes to me are just the epitome of joy and laughter and fun, and they just have such a zest for life, and they want to be with you, but they're the right balance of independent and needy. And there's a lot of really fun jokes around. Joke isn't the right word, but it is around them judging you and giving you side eye, and in the next moment they're like dashing through the air with the biggest smile on their face, and they just are so fun to be around. Wallace is my third Pembroke. I had Otto, then Toby, and I got Wallace so that when Toby transitioned, I would still have a dog. So I'm really glad because he's pretty special. I'm excited to talk to him because there's things that I've learned about him because of having a reading with my animal communication teacher with him. She gave me a lot of really good insights about him. He's not an easy dog. He's never been an easy dog. And so that's brought its own challenges to our friendship, but our relationship. But he really at his core is joyful and funny and really very, very sweet. He's the dog that taught me how important it is to pay attention to what words we're using to describe our animals, because they take those on very quickly. So when he was little, I used to call him Rascal. And I realized really quickly that probably wasn't the good thing to do because he got extra rascally. And so it made me out, okay, how would I like him to show up in the world, right? So he's my sweet boy. He's also a warrior in every kind of way.
Yeah, he likes to protect you, right?
He is a fierce protector. And it's interesting how he protects. It's not just barking, growling, get away from us. He also will put himself between me and other people. He would put himself between me and Toby, and he'll go up to people and get really excited and make a big deal and a big fuss, and he'll jump up like he's being lovey friendly, but he's really saying, I love you, so back up.
That's very clever, Wallace. Yes.
Yeah. And so it's really neat. He and I have been through some stuff together too, some hard things. And he's the reason I call myself Corgi Wrangler, because he absolutely hates the vet, hates it. And the vet will ask if I want the assistant to hold him, like, better not, better let me do it.
That's good you can handle it though. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a mean dog by any stretch, but if he feels that he's being wronged, you're going to know about it. He said to add that he wears heart on his sleeve.
Wears his heart on his sleeve? Oh.
Yeah, he just told me to add that. Okay. He wants to get started. He's so excited. He's been in the best mood all morning.
I love that.
He's reminding me not to kind of revisit the hard stuff, although he'll probably share about some of it. Yeah, so let's let him talk, because like I said, I adore this dog and nothing about him has been easy. My first two corgis were super easy next to Wallace. He's not been easy. He's also really opened my world up to new places and new experiences, which have in turn helped me help others in really big ways. You know, had it not been for him and coming out of anesthesia poorly, he came out of anesthesia and was so disoriented that he went into attack. And thank goodness he was little and I could just hang on to him until he snapped out of it. It was scary for both of us. But thanks to that, when people reach out to me for similar experiences, situations, or they say, ever since this surgery, my dog has a personality change. And because of Wallace, I understand that. And I have been able to ask the questions of other healing professionals, and we have a way to energetically help them with it. And then people, quote unquote, get their dog back. I think it's really important to just share briefly that this happens with people too. Anesthesia actually stops the part of your brain that measures time, which is why it's so disorienting. And it literally causes dimensional stress. So some of us can come out of it and recalibrate and be okay, but a lot of times older people cannot. Animals have a really hard time with it. And, you know, if more of us knew how to clear the anesthesia, how to support the individual coming out of it, how to help them reset their dimensional frequencies, if more people knew how to do that, there'd probably be a lot less confusion in the world across the board.
That would be an amazing separate offer just for that, Jana. I think that's so needed in the world. It's so interesting that you say that, because I've had 5 surgeries, and one of them in particular, my knee surgery, the one where, I was supposed to go home the same day. So they woke me up and they're like, okay, let's get you in the chair. We'll get you moving towards your husband. And I had never felt so much anger in my life. I was like, why did you wake me? I was so mad. And everyone who knows me, I'm a very delightful human most of the time, but man, I was just angry. I was not ready for that shift yet. Yeah, and other times I've woken up and I'd be in pain because the internal surgery where they had to put air in my body, and my shoulders felt like they were like stuck to my ears and things like that. So I was like, oh, shivering and freaking out. Other times I woke up and the first surgery I got to pet a bunny. And they were like, don't worry, no one's going to believe you. But they actually had a bunny in the recovery room. It was amazing. That was really sweet. But anyway, I digress. I just wanted to say I totally understand that this is a big deal. And I kind of feel like maybe I do need to work on this a little bit with you on a separate occasion to see if there's anything else that needs to be recalibrated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, there's a protocol. It's really easy to learn. I mean, I would be happy to teach it to anybody anytime.
Beautiful.
Something that I had come up in my studies. And actually, if I hadn't asked the specific question, it wouldn't have been in that class.
Oh, wow.
It's been added. So thanks to Wallace, it's been added. And it's just an invaluable skill to have. And, anybody can learn energy work.
Okay, so let's get to hearing from Wallace. Let's see what he wants to say first.
Okay, let me see where he wants to start. He thought your bunny comment was hilarious. Don't worry, no one will believe you.
It's true.
He's like, I wish they'd have brought me a bunny.
That might have been ending in tears, though.
Oh my goodness. He and Pumpkin, they always look for the bunnies when we go outside. So I have to remind them not to dart off after the bunnies. He said, I hope you're all prepared and ready for more fairy magic, because he said that he's got about 4 or 5 flying around him at all times.
How wonderful.
Not only has he been a warrior through multiple lifetimes, it's essentially who he is. So he said, think about it. Many will have varied lives throughout lifetimes. I always chose to have a quality or aspect of warrior. And so if you think about possibility, all the different angles of warriorship that can be experienced. In his own experience, he would say that warrior equates with fighting more often than not, although not danger fighting per se. It can be peaceful warriorship. It can be actionable warriorship. It can be battle warriorship. It can also just be leadership, kindness. The way you choose to put yourself out in the world is truly the epitome of warriorship. Oh gosh, he's showing me, like, he's giving me this feeling of like the embodiment of being a warrior. So he said, those days where you feel like the best version of yourself and you feel so confident and you just feel like you can go out into the world with like all this excitement and joy just for existing. He said, that's the true embodiment of warriorship. And in each moment, we decide, every one of us, myself included, we decide how we are going to project, shift, or utilize or move through that space. So he would like to invite everyone to start thinking of the reptilian brain, or the amygdala as it's called, that center for survival and the survival emotions and the reactive location of the brain composition. He would like to invite everyone to start maybe referring to this reptilian brain as more of your inner warrior. Doesn't that feel better? I agree, it does feel better. I like that a lot more.
It gives it a nice purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does. So anyone listening who may have heard of the conspiracy theory about reptilians, he knows, he said to tell me to go ahead and share this. He knows I saw a funny meme kind of dissing on reptilians the other day. And I had a moment where I was like, I know this is funny, but that's not funny. Because even if the reptilians do exist and are wreaking havoc or don't agree with us or whatever it is, I don't know. Aren't we supposed to meet those other collectives with kindness and a listening ear and just give them a chance? Because again, to lump any, okay, I just switched back to Wallace. He's saying again, to lump any collective into one way would be wrong. He says, for example, you could say all Pembroke Corgis are very smart, but savvy smart. All of them. They all do the side eye. They all do the sploot. They're very characteristic things that they all do. Now, do we all have the same temperament? No. Do we all have the same likes? No. Do we all eat anything, anytime, anywhere? No. I do, but not everyone does. He remembers that Toby was selective about his food. Wallace is not. He says his enthusiasm for any kind of food, anytime, anywhere, comes out of his many lifetimes of warriors, because it's a little bit like Buddha. You have to be grateful and accept the meal that's provided when it's provided, and trust that it is good for you. So you could expand on the meal idea beyond food. So every interaction you're coming into with your warriorship, first expect the best so that you can stay present and listen before you react. So if you are reactive, like I was, he said it took me a long time to learn this. I tend toward reactive because I just needed to learn to be present and to listen and then respond. But here's the thing. I knew I was a warrior when I was small. I knew Jana and Toby needed me to fill a very specific role of protector. I'll tell you why that is because Toby was bringing Jana into a new space and a new level where things around us would not want us to do what we're doing. When I was small, I used to tell Jana that I ate demons. And he said, to be clear, demon was the word I used for anything that shouldn't be there. So not specifically demons, but anything that should not be there, that might be trying to impose ill will. So a lot of times when Jana would do energy work session with someone, as soon as what they needed to release would leave their body, I would start barking to chase it and get it to leave completely. I have noticed he's been doing less of that. So that must mean I've been listening to the lessons. Yeah, he told me, he said, well, you're more proficient. I don't need to back you up so much anymore. Thanks, buddy. Okay, there's more. He wants to share about something that he knows is very dear to my heart, that is really important and needs to be said more and more. People need to stop feeling bad or feeling guilty for quote unquote restraining their dogs or using a leash and perceiving it as taking away freedom. I would like to offer that the leash is a sign of respect. It's a sign of protection. It's a sign of connection. So even though Toby's obedience teacher all those years ago said leashes don't do anything, they're not a connector piece or a cue. Jana and Toby said, well, isn't a leash like a rein on a horse? And he said they were right. So he would like to invite people to see the leash as a visual connector piece, but something that makes you stay aware of where the other is. I bring this up because I'm a warrior and I'm a protector. I had 5 instances of off-leash dogs come after me. And Jana always wondered why it was me and not Toby. Those dogs would always go right past Toby and straight to me. And she would have to get the other dog off. And he said that last time she was so scared. And he said, I didn't know how to help her, comfort her. I tried, but she was too scared. And he said, I understand now that she was just trying to protect me. And she understands now that I was just trying to protect them. This was a really hard time for our relationship. It's a really hard time when you're struggling to find resources to help each other through it. I became very reactive because we were reactive together. So during this time, Jana and I were not living in our warriorship state. We were living in our fighting reactive warrior state. Okay, without going into details of that time, what helped us through it was not just finding a dog trainer that understood, but also Jana got help to clear out the event. She and I did this together. He just pulled me into that space when that day when we worked through it together, and I calmed down. My system was like, oh, all right.
Okay, good. I was just going to ask if you wanted to pause if we needed to regroup. So.
Yeah, thank you. I'm okay. I'll
Okay.
stay if I need to.
Okay.
I really love this though, because he's reminding me that I can shift that in an instant.
Beautiful. Yeah.
He said the biggest part that helped us was that Jana got help for her trauma, for her experience, and she got a greater understanding for why we struggled to move through it and be okay again. He said it also was really good for me because I learned a lot of really useful dog life skills. So I would like to also invite everyone now that loves their animals, which is all of you. Remember that it's not about humanizing, it's not about guilt and feeling bad. It's about recognizing that you see the soul or the spirit, the actual being, you see us, and you recognize that we are more than just the physical form we chose to show up in. What I would like to invite you into, however, is to remember that we did choose this physical form, and it's important to remember that while you see us, I am still a dog. I still do dog things. I still act like dog. I still view my world through dog, just like your horses are still horses. So it's really, really important to remember and respect that we chose to show up in these particular forms for the experience so that we can companion with you. That is not humanizing. That's being realistic. So it was important to find a dog trainer that could help give us both new life skills. And guess what? I'm a really, really good dog. I have really good manners, except at the vet. But I have really good manners. And when Jana took us to my first Corgi event, I was friends with everybody. And she was scared that it wouldn't be okay because I don't like strange dogs. But I went to the Corgi event and I was the most outgoing, friendly of all the Corgis. And I'm not just saying that, it's actually true.
Oh, Wallace.
I was so impressed with him. He played with other dogs. He made friends with all the people. He is such a testament to the resilience of anyone, animal or human, that you can have hard experiences and traumas that really turn your world upside down. And with a bit of patience and resilience, we can all move through them and gain new life skills. And maybe some of them never go away completely because memories are there. However, we don't need to live the memories every day. We can thank them for where they took us. He says, thanking your memories for what it showed you and where it sent you on a new path or new trajectory or new way of thinking, listening, or seeing. And we can be grateful for those hard times because they gave us new life skills that allowed us to be resilient. So, what if we looked at survival as resilience instead of, I don't know about you, but survival to me feels fraught with distress. Resilience feels more resourceful. Yes, he's showing me how much energy comes behind resilience if you shift survival to resilience. So, okay, to offer some context, he's reminding me of a interaction I had with Chip years ago. I had gotten in the saddle and my whole body was tight and tense. And I said, Chip, I'm sorry I'm so tense. I wish I knew how to shift this. And Chip stopped and Chip said, close your eyes, just breathe, feel all your tension. And he said, let it rise. When your tension rises, pay attention to when it shifts to joy, because tension or anxiety in the body is a very similar feeling to the joy frequency. And sometimes, a lot of times, we mistake joy frequency for anxiety. So if we can give ourselves a moment to pause and recognize the power of the energy of words, we can take tension or anxiety and feel into the expansiveness of the joy. We can take survival and transform it to resilience and feel into the energy of those words and the emotion of those words. Because you could say resilience is a quality and an emotion. So resilience has to do with being resourced. And when we have resources to draw on, we gain more confidence and we start to shift our warriorship into presence and strength. I knew he was powerful, but wow.
That was beautiful. And it's so true because you can feel in your body similarities between anxiety and excitement. So when instead of saying I'm freaking out, it can go, oh yeah, I'm just really excited. And then see how that shifts in your body. But I love that you talked about paying attention to the tension, because when you pay attention to it, then you can say, hey, I see you. I can recognize you, and then ask what it needs. And then that helps dissipate it, because if you ignore it and you just get more nervous about it, then it gets bigger and bigger because it needs to give you a message. That's ultimately what it is, right?
It is. And Wallace just started to, he's aligning with what you're saying, Beth, because he said he experienced this also and it scared him until he learned. It scared him a lot
Sure.
until he learned, oh, wait, I think I actually like this.
How specifically did he learn? That's my question.
Okay. I love how this information comes in because he started to say, I want to talk about my relationship with Toby right before you asked your question, and they're the same thing.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
Wait, tell me the question again. How did he
How
specifically
did
did he learn?
how did he learn to make that shift?
He learned it from Toby. Toby is probably the easiest puppy I ever had, ever in my life. He was laid back from day one. I would take him shopping and he'd walk along so politely, and then I would stop to look at something and he would just sit down and wait. I never taught him that. He just did it.
That's so cool.
Toby just showed up knowing everything. Toby showed me that even though we had a really clear connection and he understood me, we understood each other. Like, it was so easy. And Toby showed me that going to an obedience class helped me remember that he's a dog that learns like a dog and wants to learn like a dog and thrives on it. He said Toby showed him that there's joy in safety in making friends. Toby set a good example. There was a stretch of time where both of them would bark at every strange dog. We'd be out on our walks in the park and they both would just, they'd see a dog way across the park.
That's my life with my girls right now. Yeah.
Oh boy. They made me work for that one. He said a lot of it was just very simply spending every day with Toby and learning from him and being close to him and watching him. He said, you don't even know the half of what Toby taught me and shared with me. He says, it was really hard for us when Toby departed. Toby left me with instructions, though, to not let Jana have too much time without a second dog. And that is why I told her, when she asked if we could wait to get a puppy, I told her I'm not doing this by myself. So that just gave me another perspective on why he said that, because I have kind of, I took it as he didn't want to be the sole warrior and take up all the responsibility. I thought he wanted to share the responsibility. He does, but he said that Toby told him, don't let her wait too long. He said she needs this as much as you do. So Wallace chose to spin it because he knew I was upset and sad, and he chose to spin it and make it about him because he knew that if he made it about me and my needs and what Toby told him, I would be less likely to uh, hurry up.
Very clever. So it sounds like they were working on helping you tap back into your joy as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Yes. So when Wallace said, I'm not doing this by myself, we're getting the dog, I said, okay. I messaged Christy back and I said, okay, I can clear my schedule in 2 weeks. Is it okay if we come get him in 2 weeks? And she said, absolutely. So it was a long 2 weeks, but it was also a really nice 2 weeks that Wallace and I had together one-on-one. And then we went on our big trip to go pick up pumpkins.
I love that Toby helped him. Did they want to share specifically ideas on how to shift from that anxiety to the joy?
Toby's here too.
I felt that.
Yeah, they want to share together. The best way to do it is to have a partner or a team. The best way to do it is in community with at least one other. When you do it by yourself, it's fine, it's okay, it's absolutely acceptable. And if you're more comfortable by yourself, do it by yourself. However, there's strength and safety in numbers. You don't need 50, 100,000, a million. You can if you want to. You just need one other to anchor, to have the conversation, to pull in the energy. You just need a team. Remind me of the question, because there's something else here I can't grab yet.
Sure, shifting from anxiety to joy.
Okay. Because it's something that you have to bravely allow yourself to sit into and embody, that is why it's important to have a team member, at least one team member, so that you feel safe and protected as you access and pull in the information. So Wallace said, I think Beth is asking for a how-to guide.
Yes. And I would like to guess that a team member could be an animal. Yes.
Yes.
To witness
Yes.
your shift. Yeah. So if you're on
Yeah.
your horse and you're nervous, you can start speaking out loud. Yes.
Yes. He said, well, let me think about this how-to guide for a moment, because it's something, he said it's something that's kind of natural. However, he just reminded me of something that Toby, and I did in the park. He said our preferred way to do it is when we are outside. He highly recommends outside, because even though our houses have life and vitality, they shelter. Their purpose, part of their purpose is to shelter and provide safety. So if you're outside, you take out the shelter aspect and can be more open. But it's not a rule, it's just a recommendation. Now, we would go for our park walks, and Toby would find a vortex. So a vortex is a way to describe a specific spot on the land that speaks to you, that feels inviting in an energetic way and feels calming and inviting and safe. So if you go with your dogs or horses or your cats and follow them to where they like to go and sit, feel for the vortex or inviting feeling and just stop. Turn your face toward the sun. Turn your face toward the wind. Turn your face toward a tree or the sky. Whatever feels good, turn your face toward it and just stop. And whatever you're wanting to be with at that time, so for example, anxiety or panic, know that we are there with you to help keep you safe while you feel your feelings, because we feel them too. Let yourself feel the feelings, and then let yourself start to allow that sensation to move in your body however you wish to let it move, up, down, around, sideways, whatever feels right for you. And quietly wait for the shift to happen into joy, into resilience, into any emotion, I'm not going to say feel good because it might not feel good. However, any emotion will help lend understanding and allow for a shift and a weight to lift. Do you understand?
Yes. And I almost feel like even if you just grabbed a hold of gratitude for being alive and feeling everything you need to feel, I think that is really invaluable. And then I love the idea of just like literally turning your head and feeling into which area feels good right now and let that almost like beam through you. I I always see
Yes.
the idea of the end of the Fifth Element with Leela Dallas like protecting us from the darkness with that big beam of
Yes.
light going through her, right?
Yes. It's important not to have attachment to the outcome, but just to experience it.
Say that again.
If you need further explanation of the emotion that you're feeling and it does not have a name, get an emotion wheel because that will help you. I'm sorry, I don't know what he said.
It's important not to have attachment to the emotion, right?
Oh, it's important not to have attachment to the outcome.
To the outcome. That's right. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's really important to remember.
He like saved his life, like, that's okay.
I just thought it was important to repeat it and then I got it wrong. But I don't have attachment to the outcome. So there you go.
He said you're not wrong. We can also expand on the statement of it's important not to have attachment to the outcome of the emotion.
There you go.
It does not need to be feel good because not everything feels good and it's okay to not feel good. It will still lift a weight.
Oh, it'll lift a weight. Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yes. What else do you want to know?
I always want to know more about the fairies.
Oh, they're my dear friends. They love to play, fight, and wrestle. I also love to play, fight, and wrestle. When I got my puppy Pumpkin, I was really tired and really stressed, and I don't love the car, so I was exhausted and my tummy hurt. And this little fairy dog wasn't paying attention, and I got really frustrated and I yelled at him, and he screamed. And Sandy helped us to understand that I was just telling my little soldier to get in line and quit messing around. But here's the thing, Pumpkin, because of his extensive joy and his love for play and fairy play, he said it reminded me of all the joy that comes through play and play fighting and wrestling, and reminded me of when I had so much fun with the fairies, but life happened for a little while and I lost my way. And when Pumpkin came, something in me woke back up. And I would not say that I am happier with Pumpkin than with Toby. It's just different. And I have given myself permission to understand that there are different types of warriorship, and I have given myself permission to live in a more joyful space and to play with reckless abandon. Now, don't misunderstand. I am never dangerous with my Pumpkin. I'm very careful with him. Okay. He said, imagine if you had 4 or 5 little fairy friends around you at all times, whispering in your ear, showing you where the squirrels are, alerting you to anything that's around you. Imagine if you had a team like that all the time. Your best friend's right there with you all the time. That's why I get grumpy if someone touches me when I'm sleeping on the bed, because my fairies are all snuggled in and I don't want you to wake them up.
Oh, I wonder if Pumpkin also has fairies around him, and if so, do they interact with each other's fairies?
All the time.
I'm just so curious about this. I love it.
All the time. We also know, having talked with Sandy, that Pumpkin's only purpose in this life is joy. That's it. I remember that day we talked with her and Pumpkin and Wallace, and she said, so his records say joy. Hold on. Nope, that's it. Nope, that's it. Nothing else. That's it. I was like, wow, that is really fun. Okay, hang on. Let me listen a moment again, because I feel like he kind of steered me away from the fairies. Remember how Pumpkin and Indy shared about the fairies and working with them and their specific jobs with them? He said, mine is different. They are helping me because of my long, long history of warriorship. They are helping me in this life expand on what warriorship looks like. So while I am here as a part of Jana's protection, what do they call it? Secret Service agent? They are helping me understand how to do that in a joyful way. How you can be protective without anger. How you can be protective proactively with gentleness or kindness and still have all the power. I'm a very powerful dog. Ask me how I know. Oh, try hanging on to him if he doesn't want to be hung on to. He is strong. So for him, it's less about going with the fairies and dispersing. He knows how to do all of that. And what they help him with now is just experiencing new ways of warriorship that increase enjoyment and fun. And he says he has really enjoyed his teamwork with Pumpkin, because he has learned that he can ask for what he wants from a place of enjoyment instead of must give me now. A lot of people say that corgis are stubborn, but we say not stubborn, just I have a better idea. So he said sometimes he can get a little bit stubborn because he wants to do something different. And he said, what I'm learning from Pumpkin and the fairies is that I just need to ask. I don't have to get mad. You know how there's people that automatically assume and get mad? All they have to do is ask. But if you don't ask, if you don't have the conversation, you're just going to stay mad, aren't you? So that is how I spend my days with them. The 4 or 5 fairies I see around him are just so delightful and like very whimsical and happy.
Did they want to share anything today?
Yes. I'm so happy she told me her name. Sorry.
Oh, that's so cool. What's your name?
I never get names, so I'm so happy right now. Sarah. Her name is Sarah.
Oh,
She is Wallace's confidant, and she said they are kin. What she wishes to impart is that lightness does not mean, again, that you leave your body. Lightness is about how you choose to move through your resilience and resource yourself so that while you slog through the swamps of heaviness, you can move through it with a lightness and gentleness that propel you through the dark times, through the hard times, through the heavy times. She said Jana has figured this out herself because she was experiencing some dissatisfaction and was frustrated by it because why would she be dissatisfied if she has everything that she's asked for? She found that she's dissatisfied because there was too much mental exertion, and I like to feel that Wallace and I helped her find the lightness in the heaviness, and the dissatisfaction shifted. Not to satisfaction, but to an energized contentment, a greater depth of appreciation and holding lightly, not even holding, but being lightly.
Mm.
So lightness, lightness can be perceived as a gravity construct or being airheaded, or she thought that was very amusing. Lightheaded. She keeps going, haha, lightheaded. Sorry, I didn't. They're so delightful. It's a little distracting.
It's okay. I also feel like the lightheartedness, especially.
Yes, lighthearted.
Yeah.
And also being the light that everyone likes to say all the time. But what does that really
Yeah.
mean? You hear it, but what does that really mean? Being the light is about lightness and the joy that comes with the lightness, and embodying your inner light, like we talked about before. What matters, if you need help in learning this, just sync up with our lightness frequency and you will begin to experience it. Make sure you have your team member with you, though, so you don't float away. Every time I look at Wallace, I see them now, and they're just all around him, and he's just smiling and bouncing along.
I love that so much.
I do too. Sarah asked if you needed her for anything else. She has things to do.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Sure. She just goes, cheese, click, left.
I was like, let's have a Kodak moment to remember this.
Yeah.
Almost like creating a core memory of this energy.
Yes.
That's brilliant. I love that. That's so clever. I actually had created like an email, like, what are your Kodak moments? Let us know. Like, what are your core memories that really want to remind you of that lightness, that love, that excitement?
Right.
That's brilliant. So fun. Thank you for that. Thank you, Wallace. Thank you, fairies.
Of course.
Is there anything else you wanted to ask? Because I know you had a couple of questions come in.
Oh, yeah, let me get those. I don't personally, because I am the lucky one that gets to live with Wallace every day. He is just such a unique and joyful being.
I'm just so impressed with his shifts over the years. Like, he's so much more playful and fun and less reactive. It's so beautiful to see.
Yes, it truly is. So this question from Sandra is, what is the one thing he feels he can teach that no one else can?
Oh, great question.
He says about embracing your inner warrior, like he shared. Embrace your inner warrior, embody your inner warrior, because it will not only protect and shield you. And to be clear, shielding isn't about keeping out, it's about feeling supported, feeling safe. So if you find yourself in a space where you don't feel safe, you feel very vulnerable and exposed, embrace and embody your inner warrior so that your shield comes into your conscious awareness. You will feel it support and embrace you back. And then this way you can bring your resilient warrior self forward. He said, Jana is loving this because she loves those Marvel movies, and I always hear her think, how do they keep getting back up? Those characters take such a beating in the battles and they just keep getting back up.
Thank God for stunt doubles, right? Had to throw that in there for my husband.
This is how they keep getting back up. Because not only are they heroes or warriors as labeled by humans, they also embody that and have created a safety around them so that they can keep getting back up and hopefully stepping towards the greater good. So he feels what he is really good at teaching is about reconnecting with your warrior aspect, because we all have it in us because of that reptilian or amygdala part of the brain. We need to, again, keep reminding ourselves that reptilian does not mean bad or basic or harmful. It means a place of beginning, because our senses also come through there and inform us and alert us so that we can act on or respond in an appropriate manner. And that is where we need life to teach us resilience. The difference is we need to understand that who we are at our core is capable of being so many things. And when we see that one aspect of ourself is intimidating or scary or uncomfortable, that is okay. And that it's safe to get your team member to be in it with you so that you can have that experience and bring it into your resource pool for your resilience.
Gorgeous. Thank you for that.
Sure. There's another question. Let me look. There's a lot of friction, stress, and polarization in the world right now. What would be his advice to deal with that? He would say exactly what he just shared. He does want to answer the last question. Is there anything he feels he knows that younger animals like pumpkins still have to learn? Trust. Trust.
Trust. Yeah. Yeah, when they're still young, they're still sorting that out, right? Making sure they feel safe.
I was just saying to a client last night in a call, the question was about why the horse was guarding his stall. And it had a lot to do with past experiences where he didn't feel safe there because of things that had happened related to a pony with bad manners. And it reminded me that animals don't have a lot of agency over what happens with their bodies. And it's important that we can recognize when a behavior is coming out of the simple act of not feeling safe or having agency over how their body is handled, which is where Wallace's fight and anger comes from, because surgery for him was deeply traumatic. And if I had known, I might have made a different decision at the time. But like I said, that brought us to understanding how to help others more. Chip has a very specific area of his body he doesn't like handled. So we've worked with that so that he feels safe when I'm in that space. Kenny also has this. And again, it's not about what was done to them or by who, because it's important not to get hung up on that. What's important is, like what Wallace keeps saying, is to get your team member, have a safe, supported space, and help the other move through whatever that is so that they can release it out and start to create a greater feeling of safety around them, which in turn creates more trust, right? So, yeah, that's coming through my experience with Wallace, and Wallace is saying yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, it's all about becoming more present, not getting hung up on the past stuff. Just be, okay, let's be present to what is right now. How can we help you through this?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Wallace and Jana. Is there anything else
Yes.
that you wanted to share?
There's
Okay.
one more thing, because he said, obviously, I'm quite a deep individual, but he wanted to share his favorite thing in the whole wide world is his cookie ball.
Oh my goodness.
If your dog does not have a treat dispensing cookie ball, get them one. It is the best thing. It is my favorite thing. And Wallace is a master at asking very politely. And then if that didn't work, a little bit louder, a little bit louder, a little bit louder, really loud. He loves that cookie ball. So if there's one thing he could recommend everybody have for their dog, is some kind of food toy, because he loves that cookie ball.
And that brings joy, right?
Yeah, it does. And it's so fun to watch him, because he takes his foot and he rolls it back and forth. And if the cookie doesn't come out, he goes, whack.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
He's the first dog that I've successfully taught to ring the bells on the door if he needs to go outside. And, of course, he has adapted to using those bells for several other things. And then it's up to me to figure out which one it is.
Rose does that, especially if we're zoning out on her phone. She'll just go over and hit the bell like, hello.
I don't tell you what, he taught Pumpkin to ring the bells. I didn't.
How cool is that?
I never spent any time teaching Pumpkin about the bells. He just watched Wallace and he does it too. Yeah.
I love that. That is so cool. Well, this has been amazing. I absolutely loved hearing everything that Wallace and Toby and the fairies had to say. So thank you for that, Jana. That was really cool.
Welcome. Oh gosh, I just love him more and more every day. Those animals that when you get them when they're tiny and it's like instant connection. That's how Toby was. With Wallace, the day I went to pick him up, I was the first one to arrive for pickup day. And all the puppies came running across the room with Wallace in the lead. And he jumped on me and I'm like, that's my puppy, isn't it? And he was so feisty. And I'm thinking I kind of expected to feel a similar connection because I knew him on some level already, but it wasn't like Toby like I expected. And with Wallace, it's just been, every day we just get to know each other a little bit more and we grow together. So that's also kind of really fun to move through and discover life with him every day instead of having that instant connection like I've had with other animals. My dad actually told me Wallace's name too. So when Toby helped me choose Wallace, because I had to choose a puppy before their eyes were open, and there were two that fit our criteria. And I had said to Toby, I go, do you know what they're going to be like when they're older? And Toby immediately showed me what each puppy would look like older. And you could see in their facial expression their temperament. And Toby said, either one would be great. This one is a bit more low key and would be really easy. And he said, this one's going to be challenging, but we need that. So we chose Wallace.
Oh, so you already knew. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say Toby sent Pumpkin and he also chose Wallace, it's because he did. And then my dad shared with me that he had met Wallace wherever he met him in spirit. And he said, would you go and spend some time with my family? And Wallace said, okay.
Oh,
And so my dad,
that's gorgeous.
yeah, my dad told me what his name was. And, a little fun side fact is like, if you like history, William Wallace was a great warrior over in the United Kingdom. Like,
Oh, cool.
I'm not going to sit here and say he's reincarnated from him or anything. It's just one of these synchronicities, with some clues as to where his choice of name came from and his nature, right? So that's really fun.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, buddy. Oh, he's such a good dog.
Thank you, Wallace.
Such a good dog. Oh my goodness.
So next week we'll be talking to Rose.
Yay.
That's my warrior dog. She's taken a lot of energy from her dad, Charlie. We call her Daddy's girl. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool too.
I asked Rose if she had a preview and she said, no, best to wait. I respect that.
She's being mysterious. I love it.
I respect that.
She's super clear, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait because we haven't really worked with Rose. I don't know that we've actually even had like a focused conversation or session with her ever.
We did a little therapy session together with her a long time ago.
Oh, for her shoulder or something?
Oh no, that was about the intensity of her barking.
Oh.
And we taught her how to dial it down actually. So that was really cool.
Oh, cool. I thought she had a sore foot or leg or something, and we did just a little.
Oh yeah, you also did a actual physical session to help her with her shoulder. She had tweaked it.
Yeah.
But no, energetically you talked to her about helping her settle down.
That's right, because you and I forgot about this. You and I had played with hypnosis with our animals a little bit.
Right. Yeah, we kind of took the structure that I do for the RTT sessions and we use those as the questioning to help pinpoint root causes for our dog's issues and the horses. We did it with all the animals actually.
Yeah,
that was a really, really cool period of time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was one of the things that Wallace was alluding to that he and I did together.
I figured. I didn't know if you wanted to mention it. So yeah.
I personally really like the hypnosis process because it allows me to step aside and discover things and move things without the pressure or angst or tension, because for some reason I came into this world with extra tension, and maybe it's just to make me pay attention.
That's what it sounds like from our conversation today.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I find hypnosis just fascinating because it helps me focus in a way that I find challenging. And then I find it to be very effective and help me gain some insights. And because I've done a number of hypnosis sessions, my brain and my system has built an understanding of kind of how to shift into that space so that I can focus more deeply. So I'm not self-hypnotizing myself, but I have learned what it feels like, and I can move myself into that space to focus better.
Well, honestly, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis because you're volunteering.
That's right.
Right. And you're asking your conscious mind to just go chill out, take a vacation, give your subconscious the microphone, and then off you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that Wallace called that team, because having you on the other side to kind of guide the conversation is what allows for, that discovery. And I think we've all been in places sometimes where we just want someone else to sort it out for us because it's a lot. And it's like, for me, hypnosis allows me to participate without the stress of, can you just do it for me? Because I don't have any more capacity, you know.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the hypnotherapy, is just me guiding you and then helping you interpret what comes up.
Right. And then, again, like Wallace said, it gives you that team space to anchor the focus and feel really safe.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. Go team. All right, well, we should wrap it up now. Thank you again so much, Jana. This was wonderful.
You're welcome.
And everyone who's listening, please do write a review on whichever platform you're listening to this podcast on. We would really appreciate it. Sending you tons of love. Thank you again for listening. May the horse be with you always.